Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it has extended the continuous voter registration exercise in Rivers State by 2 weeks. Our correspondent reports that INEC said the exercise, which was expected to end this Friday, will continue until Sunday, July 26th. Recall that the registration is a daily exercise including Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at INEC offices across the state. In a statement, the resident electoral commissioner in Rivers State, Dr. Johnson Alilipo Sinikiem, said the extension would give more eligible Nigerians, especially those who have just turned 18, enough time to register. In the meantime, Sinikiem also says people who want to transfer their voter registration, replace lost voter details, or update their information could also take part in the exercise. The Commission also announced that from today, new voters could now complete their registration online without visiting an INEC office. Sinikiem says the Commission remains committed to ensuring that every eligible Nigerian is able to register ahead of the 2027 general elections. Elsewhere, the Senate has asked the federal government to halt the policy of rehabilitating and reintegrating former Boko Haram members into society. The Senate also asked the government to ensure that perpetrators of terrorism and banditry are instead arrested and prosecuted in line with the law. The resolutions followed a motion in urgent national importance on escalating attacks, abduction, and killings of serving and retired military personnel. The motion was sponsored by the chairman, Senate Committee on Army, Senator Abdul Aziz Radua, during plenary. Back home, vendors have stolen 10 more light panels of Niger Delta Development Commission installed solar street lights in Old GRA Port Harcourt. Our correspondent observed that 8 more poles were vandalized yesterday morning after 4 poles were brought down last week. The light panels were taken away on Forces Avenue near the Department of State Services office as well as near Olumeni Street. Similarly, another street light was vandalized at the Abali Park axis of the Rivers State capital. Moving on, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has assured communities affected by the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project the measures will be taken to address properties impacted by the construction. Umahi said the federal government would work closely with state governments and host communities throughout the planning and implementation of the project. The minister disclosed that the project's blueprints will be presented to the traditional ruler before construction begins to ensure the community is fully informed. Umahi also thanked the traditional ruler for his remarks and commended the support shown towards the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project.
Your Majesty, you are everything because when you spoke, you have spoken, for us, only you know who is the custodian of the land, that Musa Uwe has taught the such. And so, to the people living on the southern part of the ocean, that is what His Majesty is asking. And by getting land there, of course, we will work with the state government and the community. We now do shore protection and prevent the ocean from wiping out. We will do that. We will do that.
In other news, civil society actors have renewed calls for an end to new oil exploration in Niger Delta. Environmental activists, climate justice advocates, and civil society organizations insisted that 7 decades of petroleum extraction had left the region with widespread environmental devastation. In the meantime, the Director of Health of Mother Earth Foundation, HOMEF, Reverend Inimo Bassey, has argued that the region has paid an unbearable environmental price for Nigerians' oil wealth. Bassey, who echoed the central message at the Niger Delta Climate Conference Week, organized by the Lekek Development Foundation in Port Harcourt, was supported by civil society actors from Oil Watch International, Frederick Ebert, Steve Tong, and others. The HOMEF director argued that the cost of restoring the devastated environment could exceed the revenues Nigeria had earned from crude oil production. Elsewhere, President Bola Tinubu has ordered a probe of the activities of the controversial Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and other related matters. President Tinubu ordered the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to conduct a thorough investigation into activities of the PFIPC and all related matters. The President also directed that the investigation be concluded and a comprehensive report submitted to him within 30 days. This was contained in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. Moving on, the Rivers State Police Command has fixed today, July 8th and July 10th, for the destruction of expired explosives in Bokor community, Thai local government area. The police announced that the expired explosive materials in the custody of Halliburton Energy Services Nigeria Limited were confirmed as expired after they were examined by relevant experts. The destruction operation will be conducted by a team of explosive ordnance disposal and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear operatives from Port Harcourt. The police assured residents that adequate safety measures have been put in place to prevent any danger during the exercise and urged members of the public, particularly residents of the core community and surrounding areas, not to panic if they hear loud explosions. This was contained in a statement by the police public relations officer, ASP Agabe Blessing Gabolo, on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Rivers State Command. Meanwhile, civil society group, the Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, YAYEG Nigeria, has called for the immediate suspension of Halliburton Energy Service Nigeria Limited's planned destruction of expired explosive materials in Rivers State. The YAYEG Nigeria insisted that an environmental impact assessment must be first conducted and approved before the exercise should be undertaken. The call followed a notice by the Rivers State Police Command informing residents of the core community in Thai local government area of a planned 3-day disposal exercise scheduled for July 8th to July 10th, 2026. In a statement, the NGO's Executive Director, Dr. Fineface Damna Mene, said YAYEG Nigeria was worried about the potential environmental and public health consequences of the planned explosion. Just before the break, the Nigerian Association of Dermatologists has raised concerns over the growing incidence of unqualified individuals posing as skin specialists, particularly in aesthetics dermatology, warning that the trend poses serious risks to public health. A consultant, Professor Dasetima Achoide, spoke during the commemoration of World Skin Health Day 2026 at Rivers State University Teaching Hospital in Port Harcourt.
A lot of people fascinating as skin doctors, especially in one aspect of the practice, in aesthetic dermatology. So this better knowledge is for us to let people know what skin problem entails and how to manage it. If you don't know how to manage, don't know how, don't give anything. Refer to the dermatologist. Luckily for us here in Rivers State, we have 4 in the state teaching hospital. We also have 4 in the federal teaching hospital. We have about 8 qualified dermatologists, both adult and pediatric dermatologists. Now we have up to 4 people in training too, who will be qualifying very soon.
Addressing misconceptions about leprosy, Professor Altrade emphasized that the disease is curable and urged the public to rely on professional medical diagnosis rather than myths and misinformation.
That's why I said this. First thing I made is I scared them. Already through multi-drug therapy. If nobody should tell you have leprosy unless you've seen a dermatologist who has made the diagnosis. So there may be a lot of things resembling it. You think like there's a myth that cockroach causes leprosy. You know it's not true now. It's a lie. Cockroach does not cause it. So that's the essence of us. The cause. After the causes is what we call the bacillus. The cockroach is a bacteria. Bacterial leprosy is a bacteria. That's what causes leprosy. And the transmission is not by cockroach. That's the
Earlier, the Chief Medical Director of RSUTH, Professor Chizindu Aliko, described the World Skin Health Day as more than an international observance, saying it is a call to action on the importance of skin health as a vital component of overall well-being.
Knowledge empowers people to recognize early signs of skin diseases, avoid harmful practices, seek appropriate medical care, and ultimately prevent avoidable complications. Across Nigeria and indeed the world, millions of people live with preventable and indeed treatable skin conditions beyond their physical impact. These conditions often carry emotional psychological and social consequences leading to stigma, diminished self-esteem, loss of productivity, and reduced quality of life.
Correspondent Ayo Odungweru reports that the theme for the World Skin Health Day 2026 is Better Knowledge, Better Health, Better Knowledge, Better Skin Health. You're listening to the news at noon on Wave 91.7 Port Harcourt. Up next is foreign business and other reports. Please stay with us.